let's talk about the Tax Stone shit, man.
All right. Oh man, yo. And you know what was crazy? I said something about this on the previous podcast about like how they can more or less take the media that you put out and use it against you in some way. I'm not saying that's what happened to Tax, but I do understand that they are using parts of his podcast
Delete tweets.
to influence the judges opinions and rulings on like if he can make bail or not. Like that
After
shit
you
is
shoot
sad.
a nigga, delete tweets. Delete tweets. Delete tweets. If you get signed, delete tweets, man. Fuck. I know this nigga was like, yeah, you can let. Nah. You heard what DTown said earlier in the episode. You get eyes in a different place. That's not gonna work in court, my G.
Well, I mean, you got to keep in mind his situation is a little bit different. Tax, and I'll bring people up to speed very briefly. Tax Stone is a predicated felon that cleaned up his life more or less and had a very successful podcast known as Tax Season Podcast, where he interviewed different people that engaged in different street activities or street celebrities.
He one of the guys of this podcast shit.
Yeah, I mean, he really
Had some of the best episodes. The Joe Budden episode, he interviewed Meek Mill and the Wraith.
Yeah, the thing that made Tax really unique was his podcast was able to reach a demographic that normally didn't listen to podcasts. And I mean, like the really deep urban communities, you know what I mean? That, real hood shit, real street shit, if we had to get deep into it. And recently, at the Irving Plaza incident in February of last year, Troy Avenue shot somebody at a T.I. concert, and now what they're saying is they can tie the gun and the ammo that killed somebody at the Troy Avenue concert. Troy Ave, wow. At the Troy Ave
Average.
Oh, shit.
I ain't been, come on, what's gonna happen?
You get shot?
By who?
Troy Average?
He not shooting shit.
He just did shoot somebody.
When?
You seen the video.
Bro, like, yo,
Like, any nigga that run up in VIP on camera in front of, like, dog, like.
That's a fact. I give you that. He blasted, man, heat of the moment shit. It is what it is, but man, he just got shot in the head, bro. And then, this has been 8 months, bro. Why is Tax being detained 8 months later? Why is he being detained almost immediately after, Troy Ave got shot in the head?
I think
I'm gonna tell you something. Niggas is leaving rat emojis all under this nigga shit. Whack one. But also on top of that, this nigga's lawyer, after Tax got arrested, released a statement like, thank God justice is being served. Like, you can go read the statement, but basically dry snitching through his attorney. And it's like, Whack 100 had to come out and say to Troy Ave, rule number 1, don't say shit. Rule number 2, don't say shit. Rule number 3, if they ask you something, don't say shit. Rule number, nigga, it's tech. I am not a street nigga by any means, so a nigga could come up, motherfucking punch on me, motherfucking shoot me. It's not hard. So, yeah, somebody could shoot me or something like that, but at the same time, it's like how Charlamagne said, why you worry about the radio guy, the Birdman? Like, nigga, what the fuck ever, man. You need to worry about them niggas who is, if you worry about anything, I'm saying you got to worry about them niggas who is actually trying to fuck you up first.
Here's the problem that I see with it, all right? I don't necessarily
And I'm not saying he was a rat or nothing like that, but I'm just giving you what's going on. Yeah. Those are facts as far as what's going on. Because I don't know the truth as far as if he actually told or anything like that.
I know what the cops say they have on Troy, and not Troy, but Tax. And what you have to keep in mind is this is a federal investigation now for some reason or another. And the reason it's a federal investigation is because the gun that they said killed the dude was is licensed in Florida. So when you have a gun that kills somebody in New York that originates from Florida, it's crossing interstate lines. The FBI is now involved in it, okay? Mm-hmm. So what they're saying about this gun is they have fingerprints on the gun and DNA on the gun the ties back to tax. Now, with tax being a predicated felon and the government being involved, if they run a search or a match, tax is already in the system. When you're a criminal, they take all of that shit from you. They put it into a system somewhere, fingerprints, DNA, all of that shit. If you haven't done any crime and shit like that, like they don't have that shit on you, they can't legally go in and get that shit on you if you haven't been in the system for any criminal purposes. But to me, that lets me know that if they say they have that and the feds have come to get you, and again, they're not letting them out, they're not letting them post bail based off of like the contents of his podcast and his previous nature. But when they come for you and they say they have shit like that, dog, it doesn't take anybody to snitch to be like, yo, I seen him fire the gun. The evidence is there. Your fingerprints is on the gun. Your fingerprints is on the bullet. Somebody said they sold you the gun in Florida. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be Troy Ave saying, yo, I seen him do it.
That's not something I factored in.
That's how I look at it. But see,
that's how come we got to look at the facts as far as everything that's out there.
Yeah, I mean, like, just knowing that, like, you don't gotta say, like, everybody could be tight-lipped as fuck in this situation. You know what I mean?
Except Troy Ave's fucking lawyer, but continue.
Yeah, like, but that's, that would explain why they're coming to get him 8 months later. Like, the feds don't just come and scoop you. You know what I mean? This isn't Departed. This isn't where they're just hanging around like, oh, yeah, listen to your podcast. Talking a little reckless there. You might want to watch your back. Or somebody's not going to be home for tax season.
Man.
Just
I just want to know what them years about to look like, because the podcast is over. Chalk it up. He getting some years just because his DNA is on the gun. If his lawyer beat this shit, most fire lawyer of all time, next to Johnny Cochran.
Man, but you see them cats in New York, them judges in New York. Like, that's the worst place you want to do any type of
you low-key want to take the plea deal, because I don't know if we talked about the numbers they was throwing the Bobby Shmurda gang last week.
Man.
They was throwing them motherfuckers motherfucking times. Like, man, what time? Like, the nigga look like, okay, it's time to sentence this motherfucker. The judge look at the cop like, what time you want to go on lunch? About 1:27. I sentence Rico Shmurda to 127 years. Like,
oh man, fuck that, man. Fuck you, judge, man.
Yeah,
you can't do this to me, man.
He told that nigga to suck his dick, and I feel him. Why the fuck not let that off? What's gonna happen? They gonna give you the death sentence. You gonna die in jail. So fuck the judge. I mean, I don't even know what. I know it was like some conspiracy, murder, gang shit and stuff like that. I could understand, a 25 year or whatever. Because a lot of niggas, like, you got to understand, you're a completely different motherfucker after that. But,
yeah, nah, man.
And you might not even be built for society, but it is what it is. But when you throw a nigga 100, you don't even give a nigga a ray of hope. 127, 125, 60-something. Man, what the fuck is you doing? Y'all niggas really think this is a joke?
They was giving
y'all could just say life and just be done with it. But you really like, come on, man. Get
93 years, 87 years. They gave that cat 130. It's like, if you are in New York, like, this is the one thing that if you take anything away from this, man, like, don't do no dirt in New York, man.
No, like, I don't know how niggas is doing. Like, it's crazy. Niggas is really doing street shit in New York. And they throwing niggas away when they catch your ass. It's not like here where a nigga might get 5 years for a drug-related murder. Yeah. Nah, they throwing niggas the fuck away.
Yeah, dog. They giving, like, I don't know what kind of laws.
You catch a body here, like, you might get 10, you might get 5. Like, depend. I know niggas who done had, like, it don't even be self-defense. Niggas get like 2 years. And you might say niggas is talking or whatever.
Here you get more for drugs than you get for murder.
Absolutely. Up there, they
don't care.
They throwing you
care.
The fuck away. Like, get him the fuck out of here. He's not coming back. And niggas is still out there in New York rapping about all the street shit, and that's cool.
But that's the sad thing about tax,
but
man.
Niggas is like really in the streets, like, bro, like
that's the sad thing about tax. Like, from listening to his podcast, you understand that he's a realist. He understands the situation he's in, and it's disappointing, if anything, to hear those circumstances. And I hope if they are true, it's going to be extremely disappointing. But like I said, innocent until proven guilty. But man, when the feds come for you, yo, that's damn near bulletproof. Like, again, like you said, if he gets off, kudos to him. But dog, like, New York is not the place to play. Like, I ain't seen a 130-year sentence, dog. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, so he about to catch it bad. And I think about this, and I think about some of the beefs he done had. I remember he said something crazy about Ebro and what's the other nigga name? Peter Rosenberg and their wife and stuff like that. He was just going ham on a whole Hot 97 gang, and it was nuts. So, and the shit he was saying, like, yeah, man, when you hear him talk about it, it's crazy. He'll say, like, some really disrespectful shit. Like, and he'll say, I'm just putting him in a position to be all the man he can be. Like, you show me what you... Like, that type of shit. So you hear him talk crazy like that, and when it comes to the case, I know they're going to try and make an example out of him, but I heard they was also playing podcast clips in court.
Yeah.
They got so much podcast material to demonize this cat. It's nuts.
Yeah, dog. Like, that's the crazy part. Like,
they about to have a greatest hits tax season in the court.
Because it's like, you don't even got to take, like, how sometimes you have to work to take something out of context.
Yeah.
Like, it looked different on paper and then you actually hear it. It's like, nah, with tax, like... It's gonna be just as bad as you say it is, and he's going down the same lane that Bobby Shmurda was on. You know what I mean? Like, Bobby Shmurda they would not allow him to post bail. Like, the thing is, people think they're gonna make. At least
he took that plea deal, man.
People think that they're trying to make an example out of Tax. Listen, they already made an example out of Bobby and his crew before Tax came along. They already made an example out of Shine shooting up that club.
I don't think that was really an example because they did, but it was 10 years.
I mean, he had to take the plea deal, thank God, because they was, who knows what they was trying to hit him with.
Man, but guess who got away? Did he? Motherfucking Harlem shaked his way out that motherfucking situation.
Hell yeah, man. Like, dog, like, look. Oh, shit. Oh, damn.
Yo, man, that nigga was trying to bribe the driver. Nigga was trying to bribe people at the club not to testify. News was getting out. His lawyer was fire. But I guess Shine advance check, he couldn't afford the same lawyer. So it was like, man.
I mean, somebody had to go down, man.
We was talking about some shit.